All right, the time is now. Welcome everybody to the Time is Now podcast, where we talk to amazing people, entrepreneurs, business people of all walks of life. We talk to all kinds of interesting people. It is amazing that we have a special guest with us today. I want to welcome to you today's guest, Gerell Webb. He's a fitness trainer. He's a Lift, Nordic Track talent, Lululemon ambassador, and content creator. Let's all welcome Gerell Webb. Give it to us.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
We're very happy to have you. I mean, we've seen some of your videos.
Yeah.
You're like man after my own heart. You're stacked up. You're inspiring. You're happy. You smile. You bring the energy. We love it, man.
Yeah, man.
So, I'm in the fitness industry. You're in the fitness industry. I'm a doctor. I help people every day. You help people every day. What inspires you, like, to do this every day? What inspires you to get up in the morning and like do this again?
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest inspiration, of course, outside of my family, is seeing people change. And so one of my brand messages is, when people ask you, like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your one goal? And my goal for people is to introduce them to themselves. And so once you show people who they really are, and what I mean by that, how strong you are, how capable you are, I think life beats us up so much that a lot of times, a lot of people forget all of those things, all the things that you may have accomplished, all of the things that you've overcome. We've survived 100% of our worst days. So I want to constantly remind you of that. And the way we build confidence is by doing hard things. And so by achievement, you constantly stack level. And so the reward in that is seeing the light switch flick on for people. And they really realize, oh, I could have been doing this all the time. So that's what keeps me going, man, is pushing people until they finally figure out who they really are.
And we talk about that all the time on my podcast. I've done videos about this. Inspiring people is not just by saying a few words.
Oh, no.
Inspiring people is not just saying it once. Inspiring people is doing it over and over again. And we talk about this, like, I give an example of lighting a candle. If you just take a match and you put it real quick over the wick, that wick may not catch. You have to hold the light there until it finally catches on its own. And that's how you inspire people. How long will it take? As long as it takes.
Right.
You keep the fire on until it goes by itself.
Yeah.
So that's big time. What advice would you have for somebody new? Like, somebody new coming into this industry, right? They went through high school, they work out, they've had some fitness degree. What would you say to a brand new person coming into this field?
Yeah, man, so many different things, but I think, if I could go back and talk to me, my younger self, I would say own your schedule. And so whatever that is, like for me, like I've worked, I've hustled, I've grinded, I've done the 16 hours, I've done the, sleep for 4, go right back, I've done all of that. But I've also done the part where I missed out on life, and whether that's just, the small things, going on vacation, going to a concert, because I was so, embedded in the grind. And so I would say, own your schedule, figure out if you're going to have to grind. That's a part of it. Like, you can't skip the grind, but once you figure out that part of it, figure out, like, okay, these are my set hours. This is when I'm going to work and this is when I'm going to life. Right. So that would be my biggest things, like find your schedule, own your schedule, and then work the shit out of that.
What special skills, like, do you have? Like, what are your superpowers that you personally have? And what skills do you believe that we need in this entrepreneurial business?
Yeah, I think my biggest superpower is my tenacity. And so the definition of tenacity is not easily pulled apart or broken. And so when life happens, because it's going to happen, because it happens to all of us, when we don't get what we want, when, we get rejection, when things don't go our way, do you have the will to stand in it and not jump ship and try to go do something else? I'll forget, I'll go be a rapper or something, whatever, whatever that is, right? Right. I don't rap. I do not rap. I'm horrible at rapping. I'm the black guy who can't rap, right? I'm the black guy who can't rap. But yeah, my biggest thing is tenacity. And I think the biggest, advice that I would give is you can't lose if you don't quit. And so whatever your goal is, that's the goal. And like you said earlier, it takes however long it's going to take. There's no blueprint. There's no instruction manual to this. It's like you wake up and you go grind. And when you get your opportunity, you make sure you're ready for that. So you're sharpening your sword throughout, but it takes however long it's going to take. And so you got to have some tenacity.
Beautiful. Yeah. Perseverance, tenacity. You have to endure. All you folks listening, listen, we talked about this. It does not happen overnight. And if you quit the very first challenge you have, you will never make it.
Yeah.
This is about getting stronger. Just like the fitness industry, you will not get stronger if you don't push the resistance, if you don't push the time, if you don't push the duration, if you don't push some sort of variable, you're not improving.
Yep.
Business is the same way.
Same way.
If you don't push it, you're not getting stronger. And you're going to have challenges. Listen, I believe in a higher power, and we get challenged only to make us stronger. So it's very important. So what do you believe helped you the most to this point? Is it your education or your experience?
No, I would say it's a mixture of both. I think education is useless if you don't know how to present it. And I think, experience is useless if you don't know how to, use it. And so being able to blend those two things, present my education to the general population in a way they can understand it, in a way they can, digest it, is what helps a lot. I'm not trying to be super sciencey. We can go as deep into that as you want to, but most people don't care about that stuff. They just want to know, how do I get results? And I can go as deep into, the science part of that as you want, but as long as I know it and I can present it to them, that's what they care about. That's what your patients care about. You can probably name every bone or muscle group in the body, but if I come in to get an adjustment or whatever, and you start talking about, all these different bones and muscles, I'm like, bro, my back just hurts. Can you fix it or not? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so you have to be able to present it in an entertaining way that keeps people engaged.
Beautiful. And that brings me to another point, which is kind of funny. Do you get ever like any of these setbacks with some of these know-it-alls where you just got so sick of them that you dropped some science on them just to blow their mind?
Bro, sometimes, and so it's actually, you'll think this is funny. A lot of doctor clients, like when they first come in, because they are so smart, like you guys are so cerebral, that it's almost like they test you. Like they'll start talking a certain way to see if you understand it and see if you can give it back to them. And so when you do, it's like, oh, you really do know what you're talking. Oh, okay. And it shows a different level of respect, especially online. We can debate in the fitness industry for forever. You know what I mean? And so I try not to get caught up in those wheels. What's best? What's worse? This doesn't work. That doesn't work. This started 30 years ago. We should squat knees over toes. We shouldn't squat knees. You know what I mean? Like, hey, there's science to suggest all of that stuff. And if you know how to argue, or you have the time to, you can make it sound, like it's supposed to sound. But for me, like, I know my philosophy, what my training philosophy is. And so I try to hold into that, always willing to learn, always willing to bend and grow. And I think that's what keeps me, kind of at the top of my game.
Give us a little bit of something. Give us a little bit of your science. What are your strong will things? What is, since you're promoting yourself right now too, what are some of the things that you do strongly believe in? What is your big fitness conviction?
So my biggest thing is doing hard things. My biggest thing is we all have room to grow. And loving yourself. So, loving yourself throughout that and appreciating what your body can do, but still understanding that, we still got some room to grow. I think we've become, and I sound like the old dude sitting on his porch right now. But I think, society has become so soft, and that if you don't feel like doing something, then you don't have to do it. No, forget that. Fuck your feelings, and let's get into what needs to be done, because there are some things that needs to be done. And you don't always feel like doing those things, right? And so sometimes you have to push your feelings aside. Now there's a time to rest, right? But I think we probably rest more than we probably need to. And when it's time to push, let's push. And so I always tell my clients, you might not have 100%. You might show up with 80% today, but don't give me 60. If you got 80, give me 80, right? It might not be 100%. And I can tell, okay, she's not or he's not at the tip top 100% right now, only at 80. But give me that full 80. Empty the bucket every time we show up. Like, don't hold back just because you're not at 100. Like, what are you holding back for? What are you saving it for? And so if you don't have a reason to save it, which most of the time you don't, then give it. You know what I mean? Go ahead and give it. And so, get out of your feelings and get into the work.
I love it. I love it, man. You're man after my own heart. It feels like I'm speaking to myself in the mirror. We as human beings, we do not push ourselves. And it's very often in our industries, whether it be rehab and physical therapy or fitness, people, they don't do hard things. The whole concept of exercise, rehabilitation, improvement is all about challenge.
Yep.
People limit themselves, whether it be in business, relationships, fitness, rehab, I don't care what it is. So
we don't like being uncomfortable, man. We don't like being uncomfortable. And that's what the magic is. The magic is outside of your comfort zone. So if you can jump outside of that, man, then, that's what's holding you back, is your comfort.
You hit the nail on the head. This society right now is so soft. It's unbelievable soft. We are Charmans walking around. We're a minority, man. The fact that we can even call it out, society is soft right now. Yeah. Guys right now, especially. The women are getting tougher. They're like, we got to take over. These men are so super soft. Yep. They're not even men. So, and the women are getting tougher, and they're like trying to do hard things. They're trying to still run a family. They're working out. They're doing everything. These guys now, they don't want to do hard things in business. They don't want to do hard things in life. They don't want to do hard things in the gym. Yep. Everybody wants the easy way out. I'm glad you said it, because I would have, and I'm glad we're on the same page.
Absolutely, man.
Have you had any setbacks, anything in business or in life that you're comfortable sharing with? Because I told you we're candid here.
Yeah, man.
Any setbacks that you've had that you could share with the audience that's like, okay, if he could overcome, that's an inspiration for me, I could overcome.
Yeah, I think we all have setbacks in life. I think that's a part of it. That's again why I love that word tenacity. Is can you push through when things do happen? Because things are going to happen. So whether that's making less money than what I want to make because having to work overnight job. I used to I joke about it now, but I used to call myself the buffing boss. I used to buff floors at Walmart overnight, and then leave there, go to my early morning session. They had no clue that I'd been up all night. Train, give them that same energy, crash, rinse and repeat and do it again. And so what people don't understand is that you don't always start at the top. It's a climb. And so if you're willing to climb, it's going to get rough. That's a part of it. It's a rough climb. It's not easy. And so being willing to go in buff floors, clean bathrooms at Walmart overnight, then come back and still give you energy and train, and not that doesn't take anything out of what I'm giving to you. I played football my whole life. I thought that was what I was going to do and where I was going to go. Not working out, having to literally pivot and figure out what was next. I was raised by a single mother of three. We can go as deep into the rabbit hole as you want, but what I always tell people is that, that's in the past. That's what happened. And so how are you going to get through it? As long as you're going through something, going through is literally movement, right? If I'm saying I'm going through something, I'm going through a tunnel, you're like, all right, I'll talk to you when we get to the other side. It's the same exact thing here. If you're going through something in life, then let's figure out how we get to the other side, because you're not stuck in it unless you stay in it. You know what I mean? Right. And that's up to you if you decide to stay in it. If I was walking through your office and I tripped and fell and you left and came back the next morning and I was still laying on the floor, you would say, bro, what are you doing? Get up. Like, so it's the same thing in life. You're going to fall. You're going to have things that happen. Things aren't going to be perfect. You're going to fail. Failure is a part of the process. That's the hard lesson that I honestly had to learn, is because I hate failure. I love to win. And so realizing that failure is how you get to success. That's literally failure. Success is a byproduct of how many times you fail. And so if you're trying to avoid failure, then you're avoiding success, because those are lessons. Those are things that you're going to use once you become successful, so that you don't repeat those same scenarios again. And I'd rather fail at this level than get up here and fail and come back down to this level and not understand it. And also the great thing about failing is, if for whatever reason shit hits the fan one day and I lose it all, I know how to go get it back, because I've done those steps again.
I love that you're vulnerable enough, man. I know you're a go-getter, and you're like, you just told us you were buffing floors. You're man. Walmart, and there's nothing wrong with that. I walk through my clinic sometimes and I get pissed off. I walk through the bathroom and I'm like, nobody saw like all these papers on the floor? So here's Dr. Slava, who has multiple businesses, walking through the bathroom, and I'm cleaning floors. There's no shame in my game. This is our home, right? Yeah. We all work here. We all help people, and we have papers and this and that on the floor. Guess what? Let's go clean it up. There's no shame in that, because that's what builds your character. And that tells me a lot about you, that you're like, you know what? I hustled. I did this, I did that. I buffed floors at Walmart, and then I still went to go train people, because that's what I do. We do hard stuff. That's it.
That's what it is right there, man.
Hey, is there any, like, we're trying to get to know you a little bit. Is there any crazy bucket list stuff that you like, I want to try, or any crazy like thing, a hobby or adventure that you want to go on?
Man, I love to travel. I plan on, trying to hit every continent. Of course, I need to get to Africa. That's definitely on my bucket list. Different parts of Africa. I want to do Greece. I want to do Spain. The typical stuff as far as that. I love to travel, take my wife different places. But as far as like bucket list out, probably, the craziest thing is probably jumping out of a plane. I had,
are you gonna do it?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I had grand genders of becoming a Navy SEAL one day. And so that's still in my mind. I'm still that guy who wants to, jump out of planes and
a perfectly good seat. Why? It's a perfectly good seat.
It's the rush, man. It's the rush, man. It's the not, not allowing fear to control you. And so, if you make that, then great. If you don't, then, hopefully I've lived my life in a way that I could go see God afterwards.
Well, I hope you land, man, because we want to see more of you, man. We want to see you doing great things. So I hope those feet touch down with that parachute.
You too, brother.
Let me ask you a question. Another silly thing. What is one of my favorite videos on YouTube is some of the faces that these guys make when they have like all these crazy people doing stuff in the gym. Have you seen and they're like, they make these skits out of like the craziest thing that people do in the gym. What is the craziest client gym story you have?
Oh man, craziest client. I don't have anything that's just like crazy like that.
The craziest poor form, stupidest exercise you've ever seen in your life, personally.
So the one that really blew my mind is she didn't know how to do a jumping jack. Like, she couldn't figure out how to move her hands and feet at the same time. And I didn't know how to explain it to her. So I'm like, just do this. And she's like, they were literally moving at different ways, different paces. It was blowing my mind, bro. It was blowing my mind, bro. I was like, I couldn't do that if I tried to. Like, what you're doing right now, I couldn't do it if I physically tried to right now. Of course, we ended up getting it, but I just didn't understand how, how that works. But you see, I mean, we see crazy gym form all the time, man. And so, and I'm sure as a doctor, as a trainer, you try not to say, hey, bro, you're gonna kill yourself, or
I can't help but stare sometimes.
yeah.
That's why I work out at the home or my clinics. I cannot go to the gym anymore. I cannot go to the gym anymore. There's times where I find myself like, no.
What is happening right now? Yeah.
No, he's not. No, oh, he is. Oh,
yep.
He's doing it. I cannot believe what he's doing. And I'm just like, no. And I don't want to be that guy. Like,
right.
Oh, I'm a doctor. Come on.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
Or the hot girl, like she's not about to do this. How do you look like that and do that?
Yeah.
And nobody told you that that's not okay.
Yeah.
So I also don't want to be that guy for that either. But
for that, because now you're the creep guy who's trying to, fix everybody's form. But
it's bad.
Man. Like I'm kind of like you, bro. I work out alone. I train alone. So, when I do go to the gym, it's at odd hours when I'm usually by myself, or one or two other people in there. So I don't get it. Oh man, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of crazy stories from the ceiling or something like that.
I've seen it. I love those. Those are some of my favorite YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Some of the gym form, I'm like, I can't believe somebody at that gym allowed that. Like somebody
didn't
has
stop
to
them. Yeah.
Didn't stop anything like that. But to each his own. It wouldn't happen in my clinic.
No.
If my staff allowed what I saw, heads would be rolling.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's gone. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you not see that? What secret conspiracy would you let us in on? Like, what are the things that go on in your head, like that, some secret conspiracy stuff that you want other people to know?
A secret conspiracy, man. So the crazy thing is, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I'm actually a conspiracy theorist, bro. Like I believe that.
I have buddies, man. This is where this question comes from, because I have buddies. I have a buddy of mine who to this day still says it's all a lie. The world is flat. I'm not joking.
Okay.
So you couldn't phase me right now. Like, I have friends that have said some crazy stuff to me. I'm a science guy. I'm religious. You couldn't even phase me right now. So I want to hear some of your conspiracy stuff.
Okay, so I'm not a flat earther at all, but here's one that I've learned, and being
shy, come on,
and being an African American, this is what I've learned. Okay, there's no white people in the Bible.
Okay.
So, but when you tell a white person there's no white people in the Bible, and the pictures of Jesus that we see is a blonde hair, blue eye, white Jesus, then they can't fathom that. But when you look at, or even the names of the Bible, right? We have a lot of European names in the Bible, Paul, Joseph, like these are all like Mary, these are all European names. Like, and if you go to the Middle East, I don't know that I've ever met a Mary that was, or Joseph. So when you look at it,
Joseph, yes. Mary, no.
Okay, but listen to how you said it.
Yes.
Right.
Joseph.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Joseph in the Hebrew. If you want to use the lettering that's equivalent to American letters.
Yes.
Joseph is like a Y.
Okay.
We don't have a J. There's no J.
Okay.
Joseph. First of all, that wasn't his name. That's
see what I mean? See?
I'm with you, because I'm Jewish and I could read Hebrew and I could translate. So
yes.
I don't know where Jay and Mary and like Mark or whatever,
Yep.
I don't know where they came from. You were absolutely, you're correct. That's not even a conspiracy. You're like telling the truth right now. Like
I am, but
gospel right now.
But it depends on who you're talking. Like I'm talking to a Jewish guy. So you that makes sense. But if I talk to just the average, white person on the street who believes in blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus and this Bible is life, especially as Americans, like it's hard to say, hey, guess what, guys? Bad news. All right. Jesus probably wasn't blonde hair, blue eyes. No, probably, but if you believe in Jesus, then he was not blonde hair, blue eyed, being from the Middle East.
I'm gonna tell you right now, being between Egypt and Israel at 110-degree weather at that time in the desert, most likely your typical Israeli is what he looked like. But we could make him blonde and blue hair. I mean, I don't care what you make him look like. I don't know, but that's logical.
It's logical once you look at it, but most people don't want to accept it, right?
Listen, a lot of people don't want to accept a lot of things. Like people lie to themselves in many different ways besides this. So it's not surprising that for 2020 years, 22 years, people have been just accepting stuff anyway.
Just going along with it, man.
Yeah. Why not? It's been happening this long. Why not another 10 years?
That part.
Since you're Mr. No Fear jumping out of airplanes, do you have any fear of Superman?
Man, of course, man. I think we all have fears. I think the biggest thing is not to be paralyzed by them. It's to, do it scared. And that's the biggest thing. So it's not that I'm not scared to jump out of an airplane. I'm just not gonna let it stop me from doing it. Or I'm not, afraid of alligator. But if something happened to where I had to wrestle an alligator, I would. Like my daughter was out there. So it's like when you think about that, your daughter's out there and there's an alligator going to your daughter, you're just gonna stand there and watch because you're scared, or you're gonna do it scared, right? So of course you're scared. Like, I'm scared of losing my daughter, but I also do whatever it takes to make sure that she's safe. So fear is not a factor, man. Fear, I think Will Smith said in one of his movies, fear isn't real. Danger is real, but fear isn't real. So fear is an emotion that you can overcome.
I love it. Mindset, man. Mindset.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the fitness industry, like, one thing I wish will never come back is like bell bottoms. So and the fitness industry is kind of like, retro. Sometimes stuff comes back. I'm like, how did that creep back in? Is there anything like you actually wished would come back in?
Yeah. I wish that the camaraderie of the fitness industry would come back. I think, initially you had guys as much as, like if we take, like, I'm just gonna go with some bodybuilders right now. You take Arnold and Lou and all those guys, as much as they were competitors, when they weren't competing, they were on the gym tanning. I mean, they were on the beach tanning together, talking, you know what I mean? Like they would hang out, they would work out together, they would, grind together because it was always a come up. Right now, we're so divided in everything that we're doing. And, again, I'm smarter than you, or I have abs and you don't, or, whatever your thing is, man, it's just a bunch of division, within the industry. And so what I would like to see is just that camaraderie come back together, and we say, hey, yeah, just like different religions, man. Just because I'm a Christian and you're Jewish doesn't mean that we have to fight over whatever it is. One of my codes is you respect the man and you respect his religion. This is what you believe. This is what I believe. I'll respect it. So around you, then I'll eat kosher, right? That doesn't affect me, bro. Like, I don't care like what you believe or who you love or whatever. That's not gonna affect me. I respect you as a person. I don't agree with it, or I may agree with it, but that doesn't mean I don't love you and respect you. So as men, I always lead with respect and always lead with love. And I think so many times in this industry, we get disrespectful when we disagree with something. So everybody has a voice and everybody has a phone. So I'll make a video and say, this guy's a jerk and he doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's not that serious, bro. We're talking about squats, right? That's what we're talking about, squats. So if you agree with it, cool. If you don't, then cool. You don't have to implement it. If it applies, let it fly. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. You know what I mean? And so that's the biggest thing for me, is that I wish we could just, come together, agree that the goal is to get as many people healthy as we can.
Right.
And if that means that you do it with your method, then great. If you dance, then dance. That's how they lose weight. That's how they do their cardio, then you dance. If I say I love strength training and that's my method, don't bash my method because you don't lift weights, right? Oh, yeah, I don't lift weights. It doesn't. Well, that's my method. This is how I keep myself healthy, how I keep my clients healthy. if dance is your thing or power walking or whatever is your thing, let's just agree to the greater goal. The goal is to get as many people healthy as we can.
Yep. And, there's almost 8 billion people in this world, man. We have about 400 million Americans. It doesn't matter where you are. There's now one trainer that can see everybody. Okay?
Right.
So there's plenty of.
There's enough for everybody, man.
I'm telling you right now, I'm bold. I say like it is.
Yeah.
If somebody's out there bashing straight up publicly somebody else, they need to put in check, because there are different philosophies. There's a lot of things that work. It's not just one philosophy. Anybody comes out there and says, my way is the only way, and that's what works, and everybody else sucks, that person needs to run.
Yeah. Agreed. But to my earlier point, I don't think that we're in a society that accepts being checked. You know what I mean? Like, if I did something that you felt was wrong or disrespectful, and you said, hey man, we don't do that here on this show or whatever. Like, it's up to me and to let my ego go to say, you know what, I was wrong. I was out of place for saying that or doing that or whatever. Where a lot of times it's like when you check someone or, you try to make that adjustment, the people's egos flare up and say, no, you know what? You called me, asked me to be on your show. No, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, so I think we have to get back again just to that point of, dropping the ego, putting it to the side. And I have a big ego, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a big ego, but I also know how to control it I think we need our ego. I think, but that doesn't mean that I'm above reproach either. Doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes, that I don't do anything wrong. But also learning how to dial that back and saying, you know what, I was wrong. All right, I can push forward with that. And versus not being able to accept new information, when it's presented to us.
Right. I made a post about that earlier today. I had a post earlier today that talked about meekness and humility. First of all, meekness is not humility. It's false humility.
Yep.
True humility is saying, I know the gifts and talents I was given, and they're not because of my hard work or my education, straight from God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that.
My credit and my gifts, my talents, I'm not discrediting it. I know what I was gifted with. That's not arrogance. That is true humility. You know why? Because those gifts and those talents were to give to the world. Otherwise, God wouldn't have given to me. So they were given to me by the Creator himself. So I'm supposed to walk around and say, I don't have these gifts and these talents. No, these were given to me from above. They're for a purpose. I was created for a purpose. Being meek and say, I don't have these gifts is actually telling God, you don't know what you're doing. And that's,
I love that. I love that. I'm gonna have to steal that post.
Absolutely. Do it, man, because it's not for me to hold. It's to share with the world. And this whole podcast is about bringing all kinds of people, all different walks of life together, inspiring. I don't care what color you are, what religion you are. We're here to inspire, to help, and to give. So please use it and tell other people, like, you do not have to bow your head to be humble. You're humble because you're saying my credit goes to God and it's not my own talent.
It's not me. Yeah, it's not me. Yeah.
But you shouldn't hide it.
Right. But that also doesn't take away that whatever my gift is, that if I can run fast, and I say I can run fast, that's a true fact.
Absolutely.
I can run fast.
Beautiful.
Muhammad Ali said it's not bragging if it's true.
That's right. It's and I could, for those people who are going crazy right now, there is a level, I admit, we could overdo,
of course,
the talent thing, but the bottom line is, if we keep it in check, we keep a container on it, but we recognize we're going to be all good.
Yeah, I like it.
So any last words? Give us all your info. I want people to find you. I want people to get to know you. Promote the hell out of yourself right now. I want everybody to know exactly who you are.
Yeah, again, I am Gerell Webb. I go by the Gerell Webb on all social media platforms. That's TheGerellWebb. I have a new program that's dropping at the end of the month on my birthday on the 29th. That will be the online, on-demand workout programs. You can work out with me anywhere, anytime you want. All you gotta do is press play and the workouts will be right there. Again, all of my socials are the Gerell Webb, man. I would love to connect with anybody who wants to connect with me. Like-minded people, not like-minded people, all of you guys. Like, yeah, everybody.
Beautiful. All right, friends. Well, that's all for today. Catch us every Friday at 8 a.m. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.